Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Nanyang Business School Open House. Thank you for taking the time this beautiful Saturday morning to join us today. And together with my colleagues, we are going to be telling you about the Nanyang Business School, and also we are going to be answering all your burning questions, or at least as many of your burning questions as we can in 1 hour's time. And now let me start by introducing myself. My name is Lum Kit-Wye. I'm the Associate Dean for the Undergrad Student Life in Nanyang Business School. And I will now introduce my colleagues to you. First up, we have Associate Professor Low Kin Yew. He is the Associate Dean for the Undergrad Academic Matters. And so basically between the two of us, we oversee all undergrad matters. And Kin Yew, would you like to say a few words about yourself?
Thank you, Kit-Wye. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Low Kin Yew. As Kit-Wye mentioned, I'm the Associate Dean that looks after our undergrad program, both the accountancy and business. I'm also a faculty with the accounting division. I look forward to our interaction later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Kin Yew. And next up, we have Miss Jenny Goh. She is the head of our undergrad program office. And so if you join us in Nanyang Business School, you will be seeing a lot of her. Jenny, please.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Very nice to see all of you virtually this morning. As Prof. Lum has introduced, my name is Jenny. I head the undergraduate programs office at the Nanyang Business School. My office, with a team of dedicated staff, takes care of the academic programs that Prof. Low rolls out and also launches the student life initiatives that Prof. Lum directs. So we're very happy to be here this morning to share more about the Nanyang Business School with all of you.
Thank you, Jenny. And last but certainly least, we have Ms. Linda Ong, who is the director of our Career Services team. She and her dedicated team are very important people to you because she will be the ones who will be finding you all the exciting opportunities for internships as well as full-time employment when you graduate. Linda, please.
Hi, a very good morning to all of you out there. I am so happy to see you today, and like Prof says, I have a very exciting role. My role is to look for internships and full-time opportunities for all of you. I look forward to your questions, and I'll see you later.
Thank you, Linda. And now, what I'm going to do is ask Prof. Low to give you a very quick snapshot and overview of programs that we have in Nanyang Business School. Okay? Can you please?
Thank you. Hi. Well, I would like to give you a brief overview of what are the undergrad programs that we have at Nanyang Business School. I have some slides I'd like to share with you. Okay. So one of our single degree is the Bachelor of Business. And for the Bachelor of Business, all our students, okay, do a set of common foundation courses in year one. And at the end of their year one, they choose one of the specializations to go into. Currently, we have 6 specializations. As listed here, we have the marketing, banking and finance, business analytics, human resource consulting, actuarial science, and risk management and insurance. On top of that, business students can use their electives to actually pursue a second major in entrepreneurship. This is something new that we just rolled out in this academic year, where we partner the College of Engineering and the College of Science to roll it out. Currently, we are expecting to take in about 30 students, okay, from our Nanyang Business School for this second major in entrepreneurship. And on top of that, our business student can also pair their program with a minor, either in strategic communication or international trading. Moving on to our accountancy program, okay, here it is, the most well-known accountancy program in Singapore. And students in this program can also pair it up with a minor in digitalization and data analytics. This is something very exciting. As you know, accountants deals a lot with financial data. And so this minor will really help. And also, they can pair it up with a minor in strategic communication or international trading. And as I mentioned before, we have this new second major, which our accountancy student can pursue in entrepreneurship. Of course, our most attractive program is our double degree, where we combine the business with accountancy okay? And you do this in 4 years. We also have a double degree where we combine the business and the computer engineering and computer science. Again, this is a 4-year program. For our double degree students, you can pair it up also with our second major in entrepreneurship as well as a minor in international trading. Okay, and our latest offering, which hot off the press, okay, is our new double degree in accountancy and data science and artificial intelligence. And as we say, this is the best two programs to combine. Why? Because accountancy is the best in Singapore, and our degree in data science and artificial intelligence is actually ranked top 10 in the world. Okay, and students can actually look forward to many opportunities that this new double degree open up. And about the duration of a program, for our single degree program, students can complete it in 3 years. But actually, you are not forced to do it in 3 years. You do have the flexibility. Should you want to take a gap year, a gap semester, you can actually extend the duration of the program up to 5 years. And for our double degree, as I mentioned, you can do it in 4 years. Now, for a new double degree in accountancy and data science, artificial intelligence, it is actually 4.5 years. And all our programs are direct honor, meaning that you don't actually have to do a 4th year or additional year in order to graduate with a class of honors. Okay, if at the end of your 3 years for your single degree or 4 years for your double degree program and your CGPA qualified for a class of honors, you will graduate directly with the class of honors. Okay, back to you, Kit-Wye.
Thank you, Kin Yew. And I hope that that overview of all our programs got you really excited. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the question and answer segment of our program. And here I have some questions that you have already sent in through Slido. The first type of questions I'm going to deal with would be those relating to perhaps the very first stage of your NBS journey, which is admissions. Okay, so let me switch the view to the presenting view. Okay, so the questions that I'm going to look at today, I'm going to ask Jenny Goh to answer them. Okay, so what are the questions here? First one is about admissions, as I say. Are all applicants going to go through interviews? What is admissions-based interviews? And can you tell me some examples of special talents or accomplishments? So all these things relate to our admissions process, and for that, we have Miss Jenny Goh to answer them. Please.
Hello, I'm back here again. I'm sure all these questions are really at the top of your heads now, and you would like answers to them. And so I'm very happy to be here this morning to share with you with regards to the admissions to Nanyang Business School. So maybe I will just first start by saying that at Nanyang Business School, we embrace diversity. So we look out for students not only with academic achievements, but we look beyond that, your achievements outside of the classroom. So through our aptitude-based admissions approach, which is a holistic approach, we take into account students' accomplishments and achievements outside of the classroom. Now, what do I mean by that? I think if you do have accomplishments and proven track records in certain areas outside of the classroom, for instance, you are a cadet athlete, you are a sportswoman, you are a national fencer, NBS would welcome you into our family. Or if you're very active on the art scene in Singapore, contributing very much to the art scene in Singapore, we welcome you in Nanyang Business School as well. On top of that, I think for students, you may be very passionate about community service. You believe strongly that you should be giving back to society. And so for students who actively volunteer, who are participating and contributing back to the society, we welcome you to Nanyang Business School as well. So if you look at aptitude-based admissions, then we look at your passion, your talents, and also your accomplishments really beyond grades. And so we hope that for students out there, if you feel that maybe you are not so satisfied with your A-level results, not to worry. Come to NBS, apply under our aptitude-based admissions through the admissions portal, and we will take into account your passion, your talents, and your contributions beyond the classroom. So, well, I suppose after you put in your applications, you will be wondering whether you will be subject to an interview. So for Nanyang Business School, we conduct interviews on a selected basis. So some of you out there, you might be just receiving direct offers from NBS and TU. But if you do not, then we would actually review all the profiles of our applicants, and we will invite students selectively for interviews. We conduct online interviews as well as face-to-face interviews, because we believe that when we invite you to come in for an interview, you will get to know us better, and it enables us also to hear from you. So present yourself at your very best. Tell us what you can offer to the Nanyang Business School, to NTU, and we will be happy to hear from you, and we really would look forward to you joining the NBS community. So I hope that with that, I've answered most of the questions. The last being special talents and accomplishments. I think you've heard from me with regards to ABA. We look out for special talents, and we have amongst our students budding entrepreneurs. They may come in to take our accountancy or business program, but the program actually enables them to actually start a business or go into other areas, and helps them to grow and develop personally outside of the classroom. So at NBS, you have ample opportunities, not just to excel academically, but then you are able to also contribute to the vibrant life on campus. So we look forward to you coming to Nanyang Business School. Back to you, Kit-Wye.
Thank you, Jenny. So in a nutshell, the point is this: if you would love to come to Nanyang Business School, we would love to hear from you. So just apply, okay? And the next question that I'm going to talk about are internships. Many of you are quite excited about internships, I can see from the questions here. So what are the questions that we are going to talk about? First is that someone says, I heard that internships are compulsory in year one. Will I be prepared? And another similar question is this: why do you send year ones to do internships? What if I can't find? Okay, and for that, no better person to answer those questions than Ms. Linda Ong. Linda, over to you.
Hi, thank you so much for this question. Certainly, our internships are compulsory at year one. I believe that we are the only university in Singapore that is guaranteeing our year one students an internship. In fact, we are probably the only university in the world that gives our year one students an internship. Why do we commit ourselves to giving you an internship after your year one? There are many, many good reasons, and I will share some of it with you. Number one, you get to know what you like to do. You get to know if you like a certain role, and you also discover about yourself when you're applying for different industries, different roles, and even different companies. It is a journey that we want to take you through when you are searching for your career path and your aspiration. When you do an internship in year one, which we will look for you, you are able to understand what you do not like. You are able to understand a bit more about the world out there and about social norms and the corporate norms in the work environment. How do we help you to get an internship in year one? We have a variety of career workshops, career foundations, and we also prepare you for getting your internships, as well as teach you how to network, whether it's virtually, whether it's face-to-face, and how do you network with the various industry practitioners around you. I have some photos to show you. We bring in a lot of industry practitioners for you, and these industry practitioners are going to be people that will help you to get an internship. For instance, we run a course called Get Real series, and this is for year one students. For Get Real, this is of course before the pre-COVID days, and only in 2019, we have our senior vice president, who is from a IT company, Blackline, who is there to share with students. At your very first year in year one, you actually get to meet C-suites, you get to meet managing directors, you also get to meet a lot of alumni, as well as your peers in terms of the networking. These are opportunities that we will be laying out for you when you join us. We also have other photos of Diamond Asia Capital, talking about alumni. Danny Yong is our alumni, and he's from Diamond Asia Capital. And he came to speak on a session of hedge funds, just to year one students. Okay, in hedge funds, investment as a career. He's a founding partner. So you get up close and personal with our alumni and with many industry practitioners. At Nanyang Business School, we are committed to help you look for an internship at the end of your year one. Thank you. Over to you, Kit-Wye.
Thank you, Linda. Okay, so that was all about internships. And as you can see, Linda works very hard to create a lot of exciting internship opportunities for you. Yeah. The next questions I'm going to deal with would be the questions on business specializations. Many of you have asked questions about business specializations, and I have grouped them all together. You can ask Associate Prof. Low to come up and talk to you about business specializations. I will be flashing the questions up on screen, and then you can answer those questions on business specializations. And the first question starts with one that asks about whether or not you need to state the specialization in the 5 choices, or just state generally as business when you do your applications. And are you allowed to put banking and finance as part of our 5 choices? So that's just the first question. Can you please?
Thank you, Kit-Wye. Well, I'm glad about the questions on specialization. In year one, both our accountancy and business student actually do the same set of foundation courses. And actually for business student, you will be exposed to each of these specialization through the courses that you do in year one. So for instance, you will be doing, financial management, that relates to the banking and finance specialization. So the courses will give you a flavor of what you can learn from each of these specialization. And you also have the opportunity to talk to your seniors who have actually selected their specialization. You also have the opportunity to talk to the various faculty members in the various specialization. At the same time, Linda Tim will be organizing a lot of alumni events where you can speak to alumni who are actually working in each of this industry. So you have the entire 1 year to think about what specialization would you like to pursue at the end of your year one. So you don't have to select your specialization up front. You can wait until the end of the year one to do so. Okay, so there's another question about the actual science specialization. Yes, it is a very small intake. We take in about 50, and that's because this is a very niche specialization. This specialization is accredited by the Institute Faculty of Actuary in UK. So students actually completing this actual science will be exempted from 8 professional papers offered by the IFOA. And it is a very quantitative. So students, again, will have the chance, the opportunity to talk to students who are pursuing the actualization, the specialization, as well as a faculty member before you make the decision whether to take up the actual science. And the unique part of it is that actually this is the only undergrad actual science program in Singapore. And there's a question on what is the minor in international trading about. Well, this specialization actually came about because there's a need to grow talent for our commodity sector in Singapore. You might not be aware, there are more than 600 international commodity firms in Singapore. Their annual revenue is actually 3 times Singapore GDP. Okay, and many of these are actually international firms that came to Singapore to set up their head office here. And so we need a pool of talent to support the operation. And Enterprise Singapore came to NTU to actually ask us to launch this international trading program. So we collaborated with the College of Engineering to roll this out. And this international trading specialization is actually open to students in business school, in the College of Engineering, as well as in maritime studies. And we also, as part of that specialization, offer students a minor in this international trading. So you could be doing, let's say, actual science as a specialization, but you want to find out more about international trading. You can actually pursue this minor in international trading. And students also have a question about declaring their minor or second major. Okay, so in NTU, we actually have more than 50 minors program. There are some very unique minors program, as I mentioned earlier, when I talk about our program, they are curated especially for NBS students. Now, what you need to do is that you can actually apply for those minor if they are stated, with the program on your application to NTU. For the other minor that are not actually listed, what you can do is when you come into NTU, when you come into NBS, and you are interested in those minor, you can actually take the courses as listed in those minor program. And once you complete those courses required for the minor, you declare, and then we will award you the minor. Okay? Thank you, Kit-Wye.
Thank you, Kin Yew. Okay, next up, the questions that are going to be answered will be dealt with by Ms. Jenny Goh. And again, these questions relate to admissions. Someone has asked, can people below IGP get a chance to be in NTU admissions? And a kind of related question is one that asks, is it okay to submit the application without ABA? Jenny, would you like to answer those questions? Thank you, Jenny.
Okay, the short answer is yes. If you are below our IGP, you are welcome to apply. So I believe that for this question, perhaps you didn't join us earlier, but at the start of this particular session, we've shared that we look out for students beyond their grades. So if you feel that you didn't do very well, you weren't quite happy with your A-level results or even your poly results, not to worry. I think we welcome students from different backgrounds, different profiles in NBS because it adds to the color, the diversity, and the perspectives in the classroom and outside of the classroom. So if you feel that you didn't meet our IGP, you are still welcome to apply under the aptitude-based admissions approach. And this is further down the portal. But I think we also had a question where, is it okay to submit the application without ABA? The answer is yes. But we would encourage you to explore the option because then you cast your net wider and we are able to consider you not just based on your academic performance, but anything, any special contributions, any accomplishments that you have achieved which is outside of academics. And yeah, so I think I've more or less answered these two questions. And if you feel that you have more questions, feel free to just pump in and we'll be happy to address them later on. Back to you, Kit-Wye.
Thank you, Jenny. And for the next questions, we are going to talk about starting salary, is something I think very close to everyone's hearts. So for that, I'm going to be asking Ms. Linda Ong. With that, Linda, please.
Thank you very much for the question. Okay, it's a very good question because the Straits Times has just published the Graduate Employment Survey, which is done by the Ministry of Education yesterday. So hot off the press, I would like to share about our class of 2020 salaries. I have also prepared some slides for you. Okay, first we have the accountancy and business program. The median gross salary is 4,405, and I would think that it is probably the highest amongst all the business schools in Singapore. The industry sectors that you can go into will include financial institutions, accounting, auditing, legal, public administration, and even in business consulting. Our overall employment is very robust. Despite a COVID year, we are very grateful that our employment has been 97.6%. Over to the business program, which is a 3-year program, we will look at the median salary, which is your potential, and this is class of 2020. So when you graduate, I believe the potential is even higher. The industry sectors that you may go into also include financial institutions, and we have employers that we have top employers that have employed our business students include Shopee, DBS, and the occupations they go into include financial analysts, sales and marketing, financial investment, as well as market research. Okay, so these are all the different top jobs that our business graduates go into. Now, let me also show you the accountancy program, which is our single degree program. and the salary is 3,000. The top industries would be, of course, your big four financial institutions, and the overall employment has been looking great at 96%. Now, many of our students from the accountancy program do enter the big four. At least 60% of them enter the big four, and this is expected because they are hired by the big four to start in a very, very promising career, which is in audit, which is in risk, which is in advisory, and which is in tax. And the big four almost guarantees that they hire all our students for accountancy. Now, the last program I want to talk to you about your potential earnings or your salary, would be the Business and Computing Engineering. This is the Business and Computing Science and the Business and Computer Engineering class, and our median gross is $5,400. I think that this is probably the highest amongst all the business schools in Singapore for a double degree program. The industry sectors that our students go into include financial institutions, include management and business consulting, and we have a very, very healthy figure of 97.1% for the overall employment rate. You may want to know where are the companies and the industries that they join. They would be as a software developer, management consultant, application systems programmer, business consultant, even a financial analyst. With a business and computing science degree, you would be in these occupations. At the same time, your top employers include Citibank, Kearney, Bank of America, as well as technologies company, ByteDance, etc., and Facebook. Okay, very, very exciting companies. This is going to be your potential when you join us doing this program at the Nanyang Business School. Over to you, Kit-Wye.
Thank you, Linda. Okay, the next questions I'm going to talk about deal with double degrees. Many of you seem very keen on our double degrees, and I guess looking at the stats that Linda has just shared, I'm not surprised that many of you are so excited about double degrees. So these questions relate to admission insofar as double degrees are concerned, and for that, I'm going to have Miss Jenny Goh answer questions, okay? Over to you, Jenny.
Thank you, Kit-Wye. Right, I think as Linda has shared, you would see that the double degree graduates fetches the highest salary and has got the most exciting career opportunities out there. So without a doubt, I want to say that I think for NBS in our double degree programs, we bring in the top students. So looking at, if you are from the A levels, then we are looking at students who have achieved grades of A's and maybe 1 or 2, 1B in your A level in order to qualify and secure a place in our double degree program. So we do not boast about this because I think in the double degree, we need students to really be able to have that academic competency and the agility to be able to manage 2 degrees and to do well in both degrees. So in that sense, we will have to be upfront here to say that we take in the top students for our double degree programs. But having said that, I think since I'm also up here, we also see that some students have actually secured offers under our early admissions exercise. So if you have already received an early offer from us from our early admissions exercise, congratulations. We will honor our offer regardless of how you fared in the A-level results, which has just been released yesterday. So we will look forward to you joining NBS this August, or maybe for the boys 2 years later. Yeah. So for all of you out there, if you are keen to explore our double degree programs, please put in your application, and we are all very excited about the latest addition to our double degree program, which is the double degree in accountancy and artificial intelligence and data science. So look out for more information about these double degrees on our website. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Okay, for the next question that we have, it's a very typical question and a common question that we get all the time. Most Singaporeans, we are always quite suspicious of anything that appears so good. So the question here that we are going to deal with is a question that asks, wow, 3 years, for your single degree programs, direct honours, that sounds very good. Is it too good to be true? Am I losing out in some way? What's the catch here? So the question I'm going to ask Prof. Kin Yew to deal with. Kin Yew, over to you.
Thank you, Kit-Wye. I'm glad for the question because students do think that because our single degree program can be completed in 3 years, 1 year less than similar program offered by other local universities, are we shortchanging you? Or will it be too much like a pressure cooker? Okay, to assure you, okay, that we don't shortchange you on the quality, I actually have 2 slides, okay, to share with you. Okay, the 2 slides, okay, this is the first one that I want to talk about. Now, as you may be aware, to become a chartered accountant in Singapore, you actually have to take the professional exam offered by Singapore Accountancy Commission. Okay, and students do that after they graduate from the accountancy program. So this graph actually shows the passing rate of our NBS accountancy graduate from the very first day that the professional exam was introduced in Singapore, 2016, all the way to 2019. The passing rate of our NBS accountancy graduate surpassed the national average. The next slides actually show you the passing rate of the 5 modules the students have to do in order to qualify for their chartered accountant. Okay, and this is based on the 2019 passing rate. Again, our MBS accountancy graduate performed well above the national average. Now, for those who are very observing, you might actually wonder where is the 2020 results. Well, unfortunately, because of COVID, okay, the June exam last year, okay, was cancelled. They only had the December exam in 2020, and the result have not been released. But I'm very certain again that our accountancy graduate will again ace the professional exam. And going back to whether when you do your single degree in 3 years, will it lead to a lot of pressure? Will you be able to cope? You can rest assured, we designed the program to be completed comfortably within the program duration. Okay, so in fact, every semester, our students are only required to do something like 5 courses. And each course carries about what we call 3 credit units. And each credit unit convert to 1 hour in-class time. Okay, so you're talking about probably 16 to 19 hours per week of courses. And that is very manageable compared to the number of hours that actually you are doing in your A-levels or even at a poly. Okay? And the difference between our single degree and our double degree is that our double degree students take 1 more year. Why? Because they actually have to complete the core courses in the other degree. Okay? And that's why they take it in 4 years, they complete it in 4 years. But again, the courses are spread out so that every semester, our students only do about 5 to 6 courses, and they're very manageable. Okay, back to you, Kit-Wye.
Thank you, Kin Yew. Okay, while Kin Yew was speaking, I also saw another question that kind of relates to what Prof. Kin Yew was talking about when he talked about how well our students are prepared, even though it's a 3-year program, how well we have structured our curriculum so that even with a 3-year program, they come out faring better in terms of the national average than one else. So this question actually asks this: I am contemplating between SMU and NTU. Could you tell me which to pursue for my further education? Because I did my internship at Big Four and they told me NTU prepares you better for the CA Singapore qualification, which is so true. The facts and statistics speak for themselves. So yes, the Big Four told you correct. And however, it says, whereas SMU, the interactive pedagogy suits me better. The truth is, actually in NBS, we also have very interactive pedagogy. In fact, all our classes have at least 10 to 20% compulsory class participation grades. So we don't have, the majority of our classes are all seminar style, so that there's a lot of interaction and you're expected to speak up in class. And we want you to do that because it really prepares you so well for the working world. You're not just kids anymore. You are now all going to be or already are adults. So the pedagogy here is very interactive. Okay? So I hope that answers your question as well. Now, for the next question I'm going to be dealing with, this is about something, as I said, that is very close to everyone's hearts, which is starting salaries. Okay, so some people have asked about the starting salaries for accounting students. Okay, and for that, who better to talk about that than Ms. Linda Ong again? So, Linda, over to you.
The Graduate Employment Survey has showed that the accountancy salary at the median level for the business school students is $3,000. What it didn't show is that we have a lot of students who, at least 25% of the students actually had a salary of $3,500 to $6,000. Now, let me get to this topic about the $3,000. Why are accountancy degree salaries a bit lower? As I've pointed out just now, 60% of our accounting students join the Big Four. And in the Big Four, you get into roles like audit, risk, advisory, tax. And these are all very, very exciting roles. The companies that provide these roles, which would be the Big Four, give you a lot of training opportunities. On top of that, we also give you opportunities for you to do your SQP, which is your chartered qualifications. For this, we actually have prepared you well for working in these companies. Now, I think we should also think about your future rather than your instant, immediate future at this point. Okay, so your future would be that when you join some of these companies, such as the Big Four, you actually get a lot of training opportunities. You actually also get your increment, and some of these increments could be double in a year or two, and they could also match with a salary that is from a business graduate. Over to you, Kit-Wye.
Thank you, Linda. And I hope that answers your question, because I've seen actually, as I scroll down, I see a couple more questions which are similar to the question that Linda has just asked. Okay. Next up, I'm going to be asking Ms. Jenny Goh to answer again some more questions about admissions. And these questions on admissions actually deal with the interviews. And I understand that for those of you who think that maybe I will be called up for an interview if I apply, and maybe you want to know a little bit more about the interviews. So let me just read out the questions here before I flash them on screen. Someone asks, if I get an interview offer, what do I need? What do I do to prepare? And how will the interview go about? And someone actually asks, so what questions are you going to ask me? All right. So over to you, Jenny.
Okay, thank you for the question. We conduct interviews on several formats. So some are conducted online, virtually. So we would require candidates to respond to questions online and then make an online submission after you have completed responding to the questions. Another way that we engage with our candidates is we do conduct interviews face-to-face. So at the face-to-face interviews, we would invite candidates to come onto NTU's beautiful campus to meet with us, and you will meet a panel of 2 interviewers in the interview room. And before that, how should you prepare yourself? Well, I think bring along your portfolios if you have, and anything that you would like to shout about yourself. Something that you are proud of, that you would like to share with us, your achievements, something that you are passionate about. Be ready to share with us, and just be yourself, be comfortable at the interview. Tell us what you can offer to the Nanyang Business School, to NTU, and even to the community at large. We will be happy to hear from you. And prior to that, maybe you could also even start to read about international affairs. We encourage our students to read widely and not just focus on perhaps, textbooks, academics. We want a holistic individual who is passionate in some areas and who are ready to come in to contribute and to share perspectives. So I hope this in a way answers your question. And if you do get a call from us or an SMS from us to come for an interview, you will be well ready and prepared to share with us more about yourself. Back to you, Kit-Wye.
Thank you, Jenny. So I hope that Jenny has reassured you. Don't worry, we're all very nice here. And if you come for interview, we will treat you well. and not scare you half to death, okay? So just relax and be yourself. Okay, next question we have again deals with what students always like to ask: how do we compare with other universities? Now, I don't really want to compare with other universities, but let me tell you what's exciting about us. So the first question asks this: other than a shorter duration and being employed by the Big Four, isn't that already very good? Are there any other plus points about NBS as compared to other unis, for example, SMU and US? So let me just rephrase the question. Aside from already the very good things about shorter duration, but it's flexible, you can take longer if you want, and being employed by the Big Four, what else is so wonderful about NBS? Okay, kind of related to that, which I think will be a relevant point, is also a question asking about our exciting work-study degree programs. And this one asks, does the work-study program mean that there will be internship guaranteed for vacations in second and third year? Are there many places for this program? What are the advantages and opportunities for the work-study degree program? And to answer those questions, we have Associate Prof. Low Kin Yew. Can you please?
Thank you, Kit-Wye. Well, on the work-study degree program, this is an initiative that we have pushing very hard. The idea is that actually, learning shouldn't be confined only to classroom. In fact, a lot of learning happens outside the classroom, and this is what we call the experiential learning. And internship is a very important avenue in terms of experiential learning, right? And so that's why it is mandatory at NBS that all our students complete a 10 weeks professional attachment at the end of year one. And this is to enable them that they can go on and do optional internship in their year 2 and year 3. And we have this work-study degree program where we work with various corporate partners. And some of you may have read the newspaper article about 1 or 2 months back where we actually partnered with Deloitte to roll out a work-study degree program for our accountancy students. And for our business students, we are also now working with many of the banks, private investment banks, and we also have the applied wealth management, which is essentially a work-study degree program. And so what exactly is this work-study degree program? Well, on top of the 10 weeks professional attachment that you do at the end of your year one, student will take a semester off either in their year 2 or year 3 to work at a company. And this will be a supervised internship, and the roles are specially created for our students so that it will be meaningful. Students will get to apply what they learn in the classroom at work. At the same time, through the tasks that are being assigned at work, they can bring back the real-life experience back to the classroom discussion. So it is an iterative learning process. And we think that it is actually very important because why? Many of the students who do well in the internship actually are offered full-time position, okay, what we call the priority offers by many of the employers, which why explain that our graduates actually commands a very high employment rate. And that is because of the work-study degree program, that's because of the professional attachment that we encourage our students to take on. Okay. Okay, and let me go back to the very first question. Other than the program duration, okay, and the different kinds of specialization that we offer to our business students, are we, in any way different from SMU and NUS? Well, for sure. Have you been to NTU lately? Do you know that NTU is actually ranked one of the top 10 most beautiful campuses in the world? And you have been here, you have seen the botanical garden, right? What we call the inland garden here. So there's a complete, holistic experience that our students get at NTU, not only in the academic program, but outside. For instance, like stay in the hall, there will be residential education programs that you can participate in. And what's more, I think it's a group of students that you mingle and make friends. And many of this friendship will last you for the lifetime. So it is the entire experience, not just about studying, but actually learning and making friends and socializing, building up your social capital network. And we also offer you 53,000 alumni, who graduated from our programs. And these are the people who can help you, guide you when you come out to work. And I think these are the distinct features of our, NBS application. Okay, back to you, Kit-Wye.
Thank you, Kin Yew. Okay, so just to pick up a bit on what Prof. Kin Yew was talking about, definitely, this is one of the top 15 most beautiful campuses in the world, and there's a question here that I just saw, which kind of relates to that because someone asks, oh, I heard that Nanyang Business School is going to get a new school. If I join, will I get to enjoy this new business school within my 3 years here? And the good news is you do, because the building is actually slated to be completed end of this year, and we are slated to move in end of this year. It was supposed to be earlier, but because of COVID, of course, that kind of delayed matters. But definitely you will be in time to enjoy the beautiful, largest wooden building in Asia. Okay? And also to, again, pick up on something more that Kin Yew talked about, which was about residential education. I also saw a question here that asked, you know, am I guaranteed a spot? And the good news is you are, at least for the first 2 years, because we have so many halls of residence and each can house up to, say, about 600 students. So that's a huge community here that you can get to live, play, and grow with. All right? These are friends that are going to last you a lifetime, and friends not just from your own school, but from all disciplines. Okay? And again, to pick up on something more that Prof. Kin Yew talked about, which was about alumni. Okay? And for this, I'm going to ask Ms. Linda Ong to come and boast a bit more about our alumni and our alumni network. And this is related to a question that was actually asked about, are there examples of alumni helping juniors to get internships or jobs? Okay, Linda, please.
Thank you for this question. I want to share that the Nanyang Business School actually has 54,000 alumni that have graduated from the business school. And we have 54,000 of them and over 194 countries and over 6 continents. We are really a very big school with a very huge alumni network. Now, these alumni have gone through the Nanyang Business School, and many of them come back and help us to work with our students, to give project works, to give internships, as well as to share their career experience, and even to conduct mock interviews and different types of workshops for our students. Our alumni network is certainly very powerful, at the same time very giving, and I'm very grateful for our alumni for helping our students get internships, get connections, and our students also get to network with many of our alumni over different types of events. For instance, our alumni come back and teach our students on preparing for your careers. Our alumni also share about how to ace some interviews. And our alumni also share very, very good nuggets and wisdom about the corporate world and how to navigate through the corporate world. So certainly with our vast network of just Nanyang Business School alumni, our alumni are always a source of our help, as well as a source of internships and full-time employment for the Nanyang Business School students. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Linda. And for the next set of questions, it deals again with admissions and also about when you apply for what. All right, because as you can see, our programs offer you a great deal of choice and options. So the question arises as to when do I opt for these choices and when do I make my decisions and so on. And for that, I'm going to ask Ms. Jenny Goh to come and advise you on that. Okay, so Jenny, please.
Right, okay, I think applications have opened both for the polytechnic graduates as well as the A-level graduates. So we would encourage all of you to apply early, and the question is when should you apply and at what stage? So whether or not you are applying under the academic category or under the aptitude-based admissions category, we would encourage you to apply as soon as possible before applications close. And for the ABA section, we would actually need you to put in your appraisals and also some referrals, so you might need a bit more time to work on those. So it would be good if you can actually start working on this and before the applications close. So with that, I think, I hope I've answered the question. And yes, so okay, let's look at the board. Can I apply for the second major now, or is it better to wait till end of the first year? So I think there is flexibility for students who are undecided to maybe join Nanyang Business School in the first year first before you actually decide whether you want to take up a major, a second major. But I think we have the second major in entrepreneurship, which has just been launched this year, and we are all very excited about this. So if you are keen to set up your own business, or you think you have an entrepreneurial flair, or you are innovative, you want to actually set up, venture out there to start your own business, you have thoughts about this, then we would encourage you actually to start applying on admissions rather than wait for to complete the first year before you embark on the second major. Can I apply for the second major now? Okay, so I think it is the same question. I hope I have answered the question. Maybe some of you out there may be thinking, well, I am not so keen on the second major because I would like to spend the time doing other things. Well, if the second major is not your cup of tea, I think there are other curriculum options that you can take up. For example, I think NTU offers close to 200 minors that you can consider. So the minor curriculum requirements is about 15 credits. So that's 15 units. For a second major, we are looking at 30. So that's double the so-called academic load. So for students who, if you think that you would like to spend the time perhaps, contributing to volunteer work or be active in student life, then, but at the same time, you also want to take up a minor on top of your primary discipline, then the minor may be a good option for all of you. So I hope I've answered the question. Back to you, Kit-Wye.
Thank you, Jenny. Okay, so I see many of you are very interested in our majors and our minors and so on. And just to add on to what Jenny has said, because I also just saw a question that popped up, which was, if I do a major in entrepreneurship, can I still graduate in 3 years? And the short answer to that is yes. Okay, if you're not doing a double degree, where you will then take 4 years, or for our newest double degree of accounting and data science and artificial intelligence, that takes 4.5 years. If you're not doing a double degree, you graduate in 3 years, okay? So that's the short answer to that. Now, for the next question, we're dealing with something that I think all of us have kind of grappled and struggled with, whether at secondary school, primary school, uni and so on, or JC, which is the COVID situation, has forced us all to really learn via online classes. And someone has asked this: I do not like online lessons as I cannot make friends easily. Will lessons still be online for the foreseeable future in NBS? And for that, I'm going to have Prof. Low to come up to answer your question.
Thank you for the question. Well, as you're aware, because of COVID, there are very strict safe measurement measures in place. And one of the things is that in classrooms, we have actually capped on the number of students. But the good news is we managed to actually conduct 70% of our courses in person, okay, except for the SMMs, which is a safe management measure in place. But these are for the safety of our own students as well as faculty. So what happened in our classroom, students are seated at tables in clusters, and there will be up to 5 students, and we have spaced out the table such that there will be sufficient social distancing between 2 tables. And students will be wearing masks, and so will the instructor. And all this will then allow or give us a very safe environment in which to conduct our physical classes. And for the remaining 30% of our courses, they are all online. Some of them actually adopt a hybrid where they alternate between in-person as well as online classes during the semester. So rest assured, when you come in, we will give you a combination of courses, okay, where there will be physical classes as well as online classes, because we believe that both forms of learning are essential, and they promote interaction in various forms.
Thank you, Kin Yew. Okay, next up, I'm going to deal with questions in relation to internship, okay? and people are asking about overseas internships. What are the kind of opportunities that we have now for overseas internship with COVID, and what kind of opportunities did we used to have before COVID, or hopefully once COVID is over, what can we look forward to resuming in terms of internship opportunities? And for that, of course, we're going to have Ms. Linda Ong talk about that. Linda, please.
Thank you for this question. Indeed, we had many overseas internship opportunities, and I am optimistic that we will go back to that levels again, because we had secured many opportunities for our students, and I wanted also to show you on the slides as well some of our opportunities. Now, from 2019, which is the pre-COVID time, we had about 25% of our students, graduating cohort, go on an overseas internship. That means that about 200 Nanyang Business School students in a graduating year actually managed to get an overseas internship where they were working in an overseas place for 6 weeks to even half a year or even to a year. And they went to many, many cities and many continents. And we believe that there will be opportunities like that very soon, hopefully in the near future, maybe, and that's something that we are optimistic about. I wanted to show you where they go to. Thank you. And from 2019 and 2020, and then of course before COVID, the students had to come back. They were in places like London, Helsinki, Dubai, Uganda, as far as Uganda, Tel Aviv, and even in Santiago, Chile. Okay. Of course, nearer to home, we have students that went to Suzhou, Jakarta, Shenzhen, Ho Chi Minh, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. Where did they go to for their overseas internships, which we hope to bring it back to students again when it's permitted? Okay. They interned in companies like UOB, Lenovo, Disney, IMA, in Hong Kong, in Qatar, with Qatar Airways and research companies, and also in places like Bangladesh, okay, as well as New York, okay, and places like Tokyo. So these are the places that we hope to bring you again, and the internships that we hope to bring you to when the time permits and the rules allow us to travel. However, we also provide what we call virtual remote internships for students at this point. So what is a virtual remote internship? Okay, the future of work is really different now. You can actually be interning right in your home, working from home, for a company in the US or for a company in India. So currently, we have Nanyang Business School students who are interning with such companies. For example, a company in China. We also have our students, 3 students who are interning with a company in Chile, Santiago. What do? They do a lot of research, analysis, because these companies are just waiting to come into Southeast Asia, and they are doing the research and analysis and checking out the market conditions, so that when these companies are ready to come in, our students are also ready to be hired as interns or even into full-time employment. So when you join us, we will be providing many virtual internship opportunities. Of course, it's not the same like being in a country, but however, if you think of it, in this global world, we are all going to be working a lot from our office or from our home, and we will be interacting a lot with various industries and various companies from all over the world. So in that sense, we're also preparing you for what the future of work may be for your internship and even for your future career. Over to you, Kit-Wye.
Okay. Thank you, Linda, for that very inspiring and optimistic message. Okay. So now, thank you so much for all your questions. I'm afraid that we have run out of time. So in this last 2 minutes, I just want to tell you what you can look forward to. First thing is, we are going to be having another session similar to this at 2 p.m. So during that session, of course, I'll be dealing with a lot of other live questions. Plus, also, I hope to deal with some questions that we haven't managed to talk about now. Things like, I think, which are very exciting and important to you. Things like foreign exchange programs with different universities. Things like, what kind of job prospects do I have in all these various specializations? What is classroom like in NBS? What is our class participation like in NBS? So all these exciting questions, tune in at 2 p.m. But for those of you who will not be able to join us, there are also other things to look forward to, and those who can join us also still. Look forward to our series of talks and virtual seminars that we will be having over the course of the following week. Yeah. So I think on your screen right now, you should be seeing the schedule of talks and virtual seminars that we are going to have. Can we show that on screen now? So over the series of the week, we are going to be having talks by profs about their various specializations. We are also going to be having virtual seminars that will show you what having a class in NBS is like, okay? So you should be able to join those via our website and so on. So you just click on the link or scan the QR code and so on, and then you will be able to register for all our talks and our seminars. All right? Aside from that, also, please don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, what they say these days, all right? All our social media accounts. Bye. See you this afternoon next week.